Well, the separation of families became headline news after an audio recording was released of a little girl crying in a detention centre. The reporter who obtained that recording was Ginger Thompson from ProPublica. I spoke to her earlier and I asked how she got the audio.
I got the audio over the weekend from a civil rights attorney named Jennifer Harbury, who has worked and lived along the U.S.-Mexico border for 4 decades. She received the audio from a client of hers who had access to that center, to that detention center, and who heard the children's cries and was so disgusted by this, the source turned on their cell phone.
And there was one little girl in particular who can be heard giving the number of her aunt, asking somebody to call her aunt. Take us through what the aunt said to the little girl. I mean, what was it like having this kind of call and speaking to a young child in such distress and not being able to do very much about it?
Well, it's terrifying, and the aunt talks about feeling an incredible sense of powerlessness in that she didn't know where the girl was. The consular official couldn't really tell her. The little girl couldn't tell her. All the little girl could tell her was that she was alone, she was afraid, and she desperately wanted the aunt to come pick her up. So it's terrifying. Imagine having a niece who is 6 years old call you in such a traumatic situation.
I think that's what a lot of people thought when they listened to that recording. Tell me, have they been reunited? Is there any idea of when they might be?
In fact, they've not been reunited. The president, after retreating from the policy, has said these families would be reunited. The mother has been told she would be reunited, but there's no sense yet of what the actual details are on how these families will be reunited.